Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Holy Bible Ministry. Uh, Today I want to talk about the subject of, I guess, money. Right? I got some scripture I want to read. It's found in Matthew chapter 6, verse 19, going to verse 21 here, and it says, "Do not lay up for yourself treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." And then I want to skip on down here to verse 24 and read it. Like it's one verse here. It says, "No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he would be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon." All right. So I've had this on my mind all week. Uh, I've been sick for a little while, and it's got me thinking about a lot of choices I've made in life, uh, what my future may be like, uh, you know, and the financial choices I've made in life, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to be honest with all of y'all. When I look back on my life and the quest that I personally had to try to build up a certain amount of family wealth to lead to my family, et cetera, et cetera, I can't say that I always made the right choices. I can honestly say, and I don't feel good about it, but I spent a lot of my life not intentionally, all right, but I spent a lot of my life possibly putting my goal toward building this family wealth more so than my goal of building my wealth in heaven, as the scripture talked about. And I can honestly say I'm not proud of that. Uh, and the irony of all that is that no matter how hard I tried, I never got what I desired to get. And so I got to thinking about that because, like I said, I've been having some health issues here lately, and so makes a person kind of reevaluate their life and some of the choices they made and all that, and made me take a hard look at myself and realize that now I've changed my focus. Okay, so I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not that I'm still making the same choices. I've changed my focus, but I think about all the time that I wasted. Does that make sense? So perhaps in a way I can go down to verse 2024 and say that maybe I was trying to serve two masters at once and probably wasn't giving either one of them my full attention. And that's a bad scenario for a Christian to be in. Now that I'm talking about wealth, I'm not talking negative about it, all right? I believe that it's biblical that we as Christians, we as individuals, should, through our lifetime, set back a little of what we earn to prepare ourselves for financial hardships in the future. Okay? And by doing so, and this is all biblical, because I don't have all the verses for it yet, all right? But it is biblical for us to do so because uh, it helps deter us from getting in debt. All right. In other words, you purchase a car, and X amount of years later, you're going to have to purchase another car because cars just don't last forever, right? So, knowing that you got a car purchase coming up again in the future, when you purchase this car, the best thing you can do is start saving for the next car in the future. Especially if you had to buy this car on the credit and you're currently making car payments, you don't want to get stuck in debt because we become slaves to our debt. And sometimes we make choices we wouldn't normally make if it wasn't because of those debts. So we become a slave to our debt. So the more we can stay out of debt, the better. Does that make sense? So I think it's biblical. I think it's scriptural that as we go through life, if we can manage to save anything, I don't care if it's $5 a week, if we can manage to save anything that we make, that we should do so. And the younger you start doing this, the better. If I had started this back when I was 18 years old, now I'm 58, that would have gave me 40 years to build up to this moment in my life. And more than likely, would have probably been where I desire to be if I had just saved, say $20 a week or something or whatever. I would have had, uh, because number one, most of the purchases I made in life, I would have been able to pay cash for instead of going in debt for. And you know as well as I do, every time you go in debt, you got to pay interest. So that's just more money lost besides the debt that you borrowed. So if you consider all the purchases you make in life and the interest you've had to pay on that, man, that can add up to tens of thousands of dollars in a lifetime that you could have had in your pocket if you could have just paid cash along the way. Does that make sense? So it's not good to be in a lot of debt. Matter of fact, it's best to be debt free, because when we're debt free, then sometimes we may not make some of the decisions that we would make. For instance, say a job choice, career choice. You know, uh, if you wanted to keep the Sabbath day holy, then you probably would have chose a career with a company that wouldn't force you to work on Sunday every once in a while, right? You could have kept it holy. Now, I'm not harping on people, you know what I'm saying? Police officers, firefighters, nurses. There's a whole list of people that we got to have on Sundays. Okay, I mean that's just bottom line of it. Our society can't function without them, and they're a necessity to our society. And those things there, uh, I believe God overlooks us, because basically you're doing a deed. You're doing a deed for people. In other words, you sacrifice some of your Sundays to help others. So I can't. I personally can't see God frowning on that. All right, I just can't. Uh, but there are some things we do on Sundays, some particular jobs, and I've had them. Uh, working in a factory, and once in a while they say, "Hey, we need y'all come in on Sunday." I never did like doing that. I never felt that it was right for me to do that, even though I did it. But I got myself into a position to where I had bills I had to pay, I had debts I had to pay, and I put myself in that position due to my own personal choices. Does that make sense? So uh, when it's saying don't build yourself up treasures here on earth, I think what it's trying to say is not necessarily don't save up some money for rainy days, etc., things like that. I think what it's trying to tell us is when you go down to 24, is don't let the desire for money get to be such a thing that it interferes with you and your relationship with God. You know, if you've run a successful business, you're a good Christian person, you've run a successful business, and you've been blessed with wealth, uh, there's nothing wrong with that. All right. So people that are poor like me, quit ditching on rich people all the time. All right, because some of them are really good, decent people, good Christian people. They just been blessed. You want me to sit here and tell you why we're not all blessed that way? I can't. I'm not God. I'm not going to try to uh, reason why God allows some things and don't allow other things. But anyway, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Like I said, I ain't been on here in a while, and I know it, and I apologize. But I am feeling better, so I'm hoping I can get back into the Bible study tomorrow. And I just got a few more days left, and I'll be back on Facebook. For how long, we'll see. I got to learn how to keep my mouth shut when it comes to posting on responding to people's posts. But anyway, so just remember, don't let your financial situation or your desire for a certain type of wealth cloud your judgment about what's right and what's wrong in God's eyes. Okay, uh, do everything. Everything in life is supposed to be done in moderation, and that's when it comes. You can work too much, you can sleep too much, you can eat too much, you can drink too much. There's a whole list of things you can do too much of. everything, I feel like personally, everything done in moderation is okay. As long as you're not sinning, all right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying go out here and do an illegal drug and it's okay because you're doing it in moderation. I'm not saying that, all right? What I am saying is that we're to take control of our lives and our bodies and do things in moderation. You know, get our 8 hours sleep a day like we're supposed to, or however many hours your body requires a day. You know, when we eat a meal, but don't eat 2 or 3 meals in one meal, right? I'm guilty. I've done that. You know, uh, you like sodas or whatever, that's fine. Have you one, two a day. You know, whatever your body, but don't be drinking them all day long like they're water. You see what I'm saying? Uh, what else was I? Oh, drinking alcohol, same thing. You know, you want to have 1 or 2 drinks a day, makes you sleep better at night, gives you your appetite, your meal, whatever. I got no problem with it. That's my personal opinion. But when we overindulge in it and we start, we kind of lose thought of our thought process and start doing things we normally wouldn't do. Well, that's a little different, right? We've sinned. So, what God has taught us is everything in life in moderation is we're to moderate everything in our lives. So, and the reason we do that is so that we don't put anything before God. God's got to come first. You know, you want to make a career choice, we need to get on our knees. We need to pray about it, right? We got health problems, then we need to get on our knees and we need to pray about it. And God says we need to go on a diet or we need to do this, we need to do that. We need to listen to Him. We need to do it, right? Because when we live our life in a certain moderation, we prevent a lot of illnesses and things of that nature to go on. And again, I'm guilty. Uh, I got things going on right now because I haven't maintained my blood sugar level like I'm supposed to. Now I'm suffering the consequences of it. Can't blame God for that. That's my fault for not doing what I'm supposed to do, right? So now I'm working on that and I'm feeling better. But everything in life has to be moderated. We just can't let anything in our lives come first. We have to put God first. So when it comes to our wealth, like I said, very wise to have a little savings account. Uh, very wise to stay out of debt as much as possible. But when we get to the point that our wealth uh, gets to the point that we want more, we want more, we want more, and we start putting that before uh, our work for God, well then that's when we've messed up. All right, if God has allowed us to make a living and it's more than what we need, accept that access. Use that access, like I said, save for a rainy day. To make the purchases in the future you're going to need. Right, washers and dryers tear up, got to buy them. You got two choices. You can either have the money to pay cash for them, or you got to go in debt and buy them on credit. Then you got to pay interest, and now they cost you more. You see where I'm going with all this? So don't take it literally that you ain't supposed to have no money at all, give it all away. That's not what he's telling us. What he's telling us is don't let that become a stumbling block between him and us. Uh, I hope that clarifies some things for you. Like I said, I think I got another 8 days. I'll be back on Facebook and I can actually go live. I thought I could go live here, but it turns out they said I had to have like 1,000 subscribers. So until I get that, I can't go live here on YouTube like I used to. Things have changed, right? So please, if you watch the video, please like and share it. Uh, you know, maybe others will start clicking on here and liking it. And tomorrow I'll be looking at, honestly, I can't remember. I think it's Romans 6, maybe 7. It's one of those two chapters we'll be looking at sometime tomorrow. But y'all have a great evening this evening, a great day tomorrow. And I'll try and get back on here tomorrow sometime, make a video for the Bible study and get that going again. I apologize for the week I've been down. I've really had a hard week physically. I've been ill. I've not been able to work or anything else. So, but as you can see, I'm feeling better. I'm getting back to my old chipper self. So hopefully we can just continue forward. I'm going to keep on praying. I'm going to keep on trying to do what's right for my body and see if we can't get everything lined out. And we will see y'all tomorrow if nothing goes wrong. Bye.